Hello everyone. First of all, I just want to say a big thank you to all our speakers today and all of you for coming along. Really appreciate it. So I thought I'd start by sort of introducing Orlo a little bit. Some of you might not know us, some of you like Jared obviously do, but here is a little bit about our journey. So I founded the company back in 2013. Nick Wood joined shortly after that. He's back in the crowd there somewhere. There he is. Essentially, we've not grown like a typical SaaS company that's taken lots of money from California or investors. We've grown organically and sustainably. So we've built our own platform in-house. We haven't bought other products in. And not only that, we've actually grown profitably every year that we've been around. So our key focus is in the UK at the moment, and we continue wanting to service our customers in the UK. One of the big focuses for me from very, very early on was getting that customer service focus right and training their staff from our customers to actually use our platform and get the most out of it. So we've always had free training going on right away from the start as a lesson learned from me. But this is something we want to expand on in 2020, and I'm quite excited about that. But I'm going to talk about that a little bit more. To give you an idea of numbers as a company, as I said, we've grown for 7 years profitably. We now have over 360 partnerships with us, from the likes of Jared all the way to the likes of Ocado. That equates to about 10,000 users. And to give you an idea of the scale of messages and conversations we've got, we post out about 2 million messages every year through our marketing platform, and we handle near 500,000 conversations every month on the behalf of our customers. We also have a great renewal figure. This just goes to show that profitable growth. We actually renew 90% of our customers year on year, which is something I'm really proud of, and I know Nick and the rest of the team are. Not only that, but we actually manage to grow our customers every time they renew. So 85% of those will actually grow their contract by buying more service or product from us, which again is something that we're really excited about and helping them. We also offer within our platform not only the free training, but we also offer the ability for people to be able to ask questions within our platform nice and quickly, and we do that with a 2-minute response time. We believe that's really important to make sure that we solve their problems there and then without them having to go off and raise service tickets and come back later on in their day when actually the problem doesn't exist or isn't really important anymore. So, what am I going to talk to you about today? I want to look ahead a little bit. At Orlo, we're constantly trying to stay ahead, to see the potential changes in the market. And we see that the market is going to be changing, maybe a little bit more volatile. I don't want to be too negative about it or start an opinion here. But in doing this, we strive to ensure that we're delivering our focus, both with support, services, and product. And there's 3 areas that we think we can help you most here. First is we want to reduce the costs within your customer service team. Harvard Business Review spoke about how the more resilient companies reduce their costs ahead of any downturns. So we see this being a really important part. The next part is increasing your ability to provide the customer service your customers need. And we want to do that without having to affect that first key point. So we want to help you do that without having to cost you more. And then finally, we want to make sure we're providing you a higher level of service, training and support. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about that later, but essentially, we're trying to make sure that you get the most out of your platform in order to make sure you understand the ROI that you've invested in us. So, to kick off, AI again. Here we are, the same old AI, bots and all that. And this is typically where people jump to when we think about saving money within our customer service departments. The problem is that so much has been promised. And here is actually a real bit of promotional video from a company, I'm not going to name it, but the Centre for Information Technology from Princeton University have started to coin this sort of AI snake oil concept. This is an AI bit of programming that allows you to have your candidates who are applying for jobs submit a 30-second video, and it'll assess how well that candidate is going to do in your company. Now, obviously, I think we all know here that that's not going to work. And on further research by the people using it and by the comments of the people using the platform have shown that actually that's nothing more than an elaborate number generator. So, we need to be careful here. We need to make sure that we're making jumps in the AI technology space that work with our organizations and work with our customers. And we're not trying to reinvent the wheel here, but instead we're trying to make those incremental steps that are going to stick with you as you grow as a company in that space. The other thing we're not trying to do here is say that we're some company at the leading edge of AI and we've got this massive research team. That's not what we're doing. We're actually investing in building upon the giants like Google, like Microsoft, like IBM Watson, to deliver the best AI when we do use it to you, rather than claiming that we've got the best. So what are we doing actually in this space? So one of the pieces of technology that we're testing currently right now, and we're looking to bring out, is predictive typing. You might have seen this in Gmail, nice and useful, and occasionally it comes up with a really useful little snippet that you can tab on and it completes that text for you. However, in the case of Orlo, we can actually be a lot more specialist here. Because we've got your company's data, we can train on that specific data and become more intelligent, whereas Gmail's had to do that on the whole world's data. So we can kind of pick out common phrases and pieces that are going to help you complete more sentences and save you more time in typing and spell checking. A great example here is, as you can see as I'm typing away here, it's noticed that the next token is going to be a name. Rather than showing you what we've trained the data on and say we always talk to Charlotte, instead of saying Charlotte there, we've noticed it's a name and substituted the name of the person we're actually talking to. Further on, as you can see, as I keep typing, we're actually then pre-filling the link that's required by the agent in this specific moment. So you can see that we can start to get really, really useful, and we can actually start to predict tens of words ahead and complete a whole sentence for a customer service agent, especially when it's something that they commonly type. Now, just an initial test, and I say we haven't rolled this out too far yet because this is very early doors, but we've shown that this could actually save the potential of an entire agent's day's worth of time for a team that's answering about 6,000 messages across a week. So these marginal gains do add up, and we do need to be making them work. So that's one piece of technology we've got going really exciting there. Looking forward, automation is another big area. Now, obviously, we've had Daniel talking about some pretty cool stuff with NLP there, but we want to make sure we're in step with our customers. So we can already manage a whole range of tasks. One of those is using triggers that's already in our system. So you can identify key messages by keywords, sentiment, the language, the profile popularity, even if you've tagged their CRM profile with a particular tag, or if they're actually linked up to your CRM. And as a result of that, you can then fire off a bunch of actions. So you could have an email fire off to one of your team members to alert this particular person's sort of messaged in. You could even do app notifications through to our app. You could assign it to particular team members, or even do auto-tagging to help you then analyze that data later on. Now, we want to take that a little step further and see what we can do to help you do that. So AI categorization is something we want to put at the forefront of that to allow you then to segment those messages even easier. So one of the things we can do is intent identification. This allows you to examine that message and understand if this is someone asking a question, someone talking about you in the news, or if it's a review based on some product they've used or your brand, or if it's just spam and something you might not want to be interested in. We can also do disaster detection. And while this might not seem that appropriate for you, this is looking out for things about people talking about a store being on fire, or if it's a fire service, an actual fire, or the police force, a gunshot's being heard. These have many, many appropriate uses within multiple industries. Toxic messages here is another one that we've been looking at to help you guys understand when a message or a conversation is going particularly downhill, and that you need to bring in a more advanced agent who can maybe handle that, or flag it to be later reviewed to understand how you can maybe improve the agent with that particular conversation or problem. And then we're also looking at how we can allow you guys to create categorizations and messages within your system, and then bring that back to us, and allow us to then use that on our technology to help you route your messages in your system. So, given that you can now do all these extra features, we're bringing in the kind of first step of the most lightest version of bots that you can think of. So we're allowing you to actually respond back as a result of identifying a key set of messages that interest you. So given that, you can then simply apply a set of templates and respond back to the customer as quickly as possible. The advantage of this is it's incredibly quick. you've got a disaster happening that day. Jared talked about creating snippets. Now we can create a quick and easy bot that can fire a quick message back to see if that solves the customer. The customers always come back and ask another question. The great example here is if we are always responding to people who are wanting to book demos and training, for example, we could look for the intent classification where we are seeing that someone's asking a question, and then note that they are also asking with the words book and demo, and then we can fire off a quick response to them saying you can book a demo here at this link. So that means that we don't even have to lift a finger to help that customer, and the customer's got what they want really quickly. And of course, with this, you can also carry on with a bunch of actions that you might want to do after that message, even including tagging and whatnot. So despite this, there are further advancements in the space, and we are looking to team up with the likes of Daniel from Microsoft with their amazing stuff that's going on in that space with NLPs, and we see that a lot of companies do want to go to that, but we're also trying to keep in step with the companies that haven't got the training data available to them, the mass amounts of budget that is required to create such intense conversational bots that are needed in the industry. So we are wanting to be there, and we have already got a bot, full NLP bot that keeps the human in the loop using our platform to allow them to bring that back in for an actual agent to deal with. And that's done with IBM Watson and Group ALSA. So we are covering all spectrums of the bots there, and we think that that's going to be a really exciting area, but what we don't want to do is jump ahead of the market and say that we've done it and we've nailed it, because we haven't. It's a really moving space and we need to move a little slower. So the other thing we wanted to do was allow you to increase your presence. Last year we launched live chat. That wasn't a separate tool that we bought and purchased into the platform. That's baked right within Orlo. So we can actually manage everything for your agents right there in the inbox. So you don't have to actually move between two different platforms to be a social media agent or a live chat agent. And a great example of a customer using this is Ocado. Anywhere on their website, they now have our live chat widget. They also have it within their app, and they have hundreds of agents using it simultaneously across their company. They've increased their chats 120% over the last 2 years, and they've also increased the number of messages they've answered within 2 minutes from 40% to 95%. They've also been a great advocate of a new tool of ours, which is the push mode, and this allows us to push specific chats to people within the company. And what this does is stops agent picking those nice and easy quick chats that make their stats look great, and we all know that if you're in the customer service team, you do it. So what we do is we push those messages to them, which means they also don't have to go and find the messages. This saves a lot of time. Now, they've seen a chat concurrency rate much higher than the industry standard by using that. So they're really happy with that, and they've actually gone on to win some awards with that. Ocado are seeing an 8-to-1 return on investment with our live chat at the moment, but furthermore, they're actually really invested in launching with us some of our later features, which is WhatsApp and SMS. So we're going to be bringing this again right within Orlo, and allowing you to be where your customers are, which, as you heard Jared say, is incredibly important. So the great benefits of SMS and WhatsApp are, unbelievable when you actually think about it. You're right there with your customers as they're talking to their family and friends. You're also able to build those brand connections with them rather than being over on a social channel. You've got that fast, simple, and secure way of communicating with them. And everybody has a mobile phone pretty much. Doesn't mean that everybody's got a Facebook, Twitter, or LinkedIn profile. You can do this with pretty much anyone of any age range. Most people are using SMS or WhatsApp now. The other great advantage is it's private and secure. You don't have to move people from those public channels across onto a private channel to get that secure information you need to verify it's them, or that so that you can deal with the conversation. The other advantage is that you're continuing to reduce that customer service channels such as telephones, which just cost you more and more money. I was talking to someone today who's claiming that every call was costing them £30. So you can see the great advantages of being able to bring this into one space and also not have to have new agents dealing with it. You can deal with it all within the one platform. Looking forward, Jared's done a lot of work for me here on this one. Democratising your data. This is a big thing for us. We believe that your data is your data. We don't want to keep it in our system. We don't want to keep it away from your business analysts. We want to make sure that you have visibility on this. E-consultancy have talked about how they see this improving customer service levels, customer retention, higher conversion rates, and improved overall customer lifetime. So this is a big thing. It's an age-old problem, but it's worse today than it's ever been. I swear I've heard my dad talking about it. So we've got IDs now across the entire of the spectrum, right the way from social media to phone calls to mail shots to anything that they could contact you with. So we need to make sure we're joining all that together, and we don't want to become part of that problem. So by pushing data into one location and have that single customer view, we're hoping to allow you to provide that customer stellar experience, link up conversations across all the channels, not just what's been going on within Orlo, join up the departments in your organization who don't necessarily have access to Orlo, and also increase the data visibility for your business intelligence teams. So we've built a development kit that you can ultimately integrate any CRM into Orlo with. That's really important. Loads of our customers aren't using off-the-shelf CRMs. However, we are starting to try and build out integrations. And as I said, Jared's basically done my work for me here. But we built the first integrating into Microsoft Dynamics on top of our development kit to demonstrate what we can do. Jared's team are having great success in that picking up, and there's a bunch of other clients who are coming on board with that now with this release. So one-click install, it allows you to push data from Orlo into Microsoft Dynamics and pull it back. So when you're having that conversation, you can now see conversations that didn't happen on social media, but instead are happening elsewhere that are really important to the context of what you're talking about. It's also actually, we've integrated ourselves into Microsoft Dynamics. So in the case that you're in Microsoft Dynamics, you can now start to respond to customers right in Microsoft Dynamics without having to open up Orlo in another tab. So this obviously is what we're seeing as another great time saver, saves costs, allow you to get back to your customers and spend more time with them, which again, really important. So I'm interested next to find out what you guys are using as a CRM, because we want to continue to build out our app store to enable people to simply one-click install. Now, we've just launched our WhatsApp service, so I was thinking for a bit of fun, if you guys could get involved as a crowd and text us or WhatsApp us what CRM you're using so that we can collect some information on that and essentially continue building our tool for our customers and not for ourselves. This has been really important for me for the whole journey, speaking to you guys and understanding what you're using. Now, if you can find the time to pick up your phone and WhatsApp us what's going on with your company and what CRM you're using, we're going to be picking one lucky user and doing a full social strategy audit for free and help you out and advise you. And I'm going to be talking a little bit more about how we're planning to do that and how that's going to become part of our offering in a minute. The number will stay on the screen, so don't panic. So here we're looking at competitor analysis. This is something that we have had in our platform for a while. However, now we've consolidated this into one report to make it a lot cleaner and a lot clearer. Competitor analysis is actually quite important. To be able to understand what's going on with your competitors is a key advantage when you're playing in a market space that's very tight. To be able to understand what they're doing, what they're talking about, what resonates with their audiences, track who they're talking to, and also in the future, we want to be looking at how we can understand a group of competitors of yours and segment that into an industry and see how you are standing out in the industry and comparing yourselves in that space. So you have a bit more of a feeling of how that looks. So this is something that's going to be really exciting. However, I thought for a bit of fun, I'd plug in some of the political candidates for the election. Now, this is not an opinion, please. So anyone wants to talk to me afterwards, I don't want to have an opinion on this. This is more just about a little bit of an insight of what we can sort of draw from this. So the first thing I noticed is Conservatives are pushing out twice as much content as the next active party, which is Labour. The Green Party is actually in last place on that one. Labour have the highest percentage of rich media being posted out as well. However, Green Party, again, has the lowest. Conservatives posted the most video content, which typically has the highest interaction rate. However, in this scenario, Labour are actually getting the highest average number of interactions on their posts, with Conservatives falling behind a little bit. So a couple of interesting things there. One thing I also noticed that the top 3 posts being posted out by all these parties were by Labour and Conservative, and the ones that resonated most with their audience were the ones that were slating each other. Now, if you go and look what the Lib Dems and the Green Party were doing, they weren't doing any of this, and as such, their posts were so much lower. So you can start to see how you can understand a little bit more about what your competitors are doing and how you can actually change your strategy to do that. I even went on a little bit further to have a look at what they're talking about. Typically, as you can see, the Conservatives, ironically, are talking about Labour mostly. And Labour, while talking about themselves, again, pick up on the Tories again. So you can see there's a real strategy emerging here. But overall, Labour are actually growing the fastest on Facebook, acquiring more followers every day than Conservatives. But Conservatives do have the highest number of following and the biggest presence on Twitter alone against any other organisation. Now take from that what you will. It's not for me to opinion and tell you what's going on there. So thirdly, I want to talk about how we're going to help Orlo work for you. As I said right at the beginning, I sold Orlo for the first time. I sold it into an organisation. They essentially picked up the tool, and I came back to them 2-3 months later, and they said, yeah, we're using it, I think. I was kind of a bit muddled by this. And I realized that training is a real key part of what we need to be doing. We need you guys to be able to understand our platform when you buy it. You need to be able to get the most out of it. If you're going to renew with us, you need to make sure that you are getting that investment. When we demo to you, show you all those cool features, we want you to be using those cool features. And we've been doing that with free training online since we started, and we can train your new staff, we can train your old staff, we can retrain you if you feel you need that. And that's fantastic. And we've now actually hit a 93% users rate. So 93% of our users are actually using our product. And we want to go a level above that now. We want to start looking at strategic advice and see how we can help you get the most out of your social strategy. And that's why we brought on Richard Chilton, who is right there at the back. And he's joined us from Virgin Trains and Yopa. He has been working across many sectors, and he's also been working as a consultant in getting end customer journeys right the way from the start to the end, working for them. And Richard has come on essentially to lead our customer success team and help you as organisations deliver on your social strategy with Orlo in mind. So he can analyse anything from your paid to organic strategy, competitor analysis, as you've seen some of what I've done there, as well as your end-to-end customer strategy. So we're really excited about that moving into the next year, and if you want to have a chat with him, he's going to be at the back. So just in summary, there are 3 key areas that we want to really help you as customers there. We want to be reducing the cost within your customer service team, and you've seen that we can do that with the predictive typing, the auto responses and classifiers. We want to also look at how we can increase your customer service while doing that by reducing your costs. And when that's with WhatsApp and SMS and being there, as Jared said, really important for your customers. You can't just be where you want to be, you've got to be where your customers are. And we also want to look at how we can offer a higher level of service to you guys, enabling you to deliver the social strategy and with our platform. So I'm going to end with leaving this up on the screen for you while you have a coffee. Please do send in your CRM that you're using, because as I say, this is really important to us. We're not trying to build a tool for us, it's for you guys, it's for our customers, and we want to make sure that they're building the right things for you. So do message in, and as I said, Rich Shilton will be taking a random customer from there and delivering a social strategy audit, if you please. You can also join in with some of our customer forums. As I say, we're building this product for you. Luke, who is right there in the middle of the crowd, he's our head of product and knows the roadmap inside out. He's also available and going to be doing some product forums with some of our customers. So if you want to get involved with some of those or just understand more about our product, Luke's there, or people at the back. And also, I'm available. I've got endless knowledge on Orlo and the bits and the workings inside out. So if you want to come and talk to me, please do. I promise I'm not a horrible guy. That's that.